Hello, guys. Welcome back to Brandon Bunny Show. I think this is our first episode for this year. Um, we've always known this as Couples Corner, but we are spreading our tentacles to other topics, so it wouldn't just become just couples. However, we still be having couples on our shows, singles, separated, divorced. We don't pray for those anyway. Today we have a lovely couple all the way from Canada. Canada. you know, so we are, they are here in the UK. They've been here for a week plus now, enjoying UK. So we got hold of them and said, please come around. Let's have a tete a tete.
Is it not tete?
It's tete a tete. Think you know English more than me.
Tete-a-tete.
You're not going to argue that.
So they are around, gentlemen and ladies. Can we say welcome to Dr. and Mrs. Onyema, all the way from Canada.
Oh,
Thank you.
People,
Thank you.
people will go, people will go school. It's not easy to be doctor. The doctor is not it's from Canada. But in the course of this discussion, we'll probably delve a little bit in there. So probably I think the best place for us to start this discussion, and of course my lovely wife is here.
I thought you were going to forget. I said, let me count down.
If I don't chop this night.
No, I don't want that problem. For this UK, make person no chop. No. So guys, I think a right place for us to start. You've been in the UK for a while now. Would you say are you enjoying UK today? Are you considering coming down from Canada? Yeah.
Well, for me personally, we've been in the UK for about 10 days now. No? 12 days. Yeah, 12 days now. And I like it. I like the communal living, but I still prefer my Canada. Thank you.
So they will not. So the president will not collect their
You
list.
know, person when I get visa, we still talk the same thing.
Well, that's up to you.
I think she's right, but if you consider the weight of the pound sterling, I'm tempted to come down. Just because of the monetary part.
Yeah.
But weather-wise and everything, Canada is still good because really your winter and your summer.
Yeah.
But for the few days we've been here, they said it's summer, but the summer is not summer.
It's not summer.
No. This year.
This is looking like spring.
No, this year I think.
It's different.
No, don't.
Different.
Because
This is different.
this year is different from other years.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Don't. This year's summer. No.
It didn't summer.
It was only 2 weeks that we had some proper sunlight.
Yeah.
Well, but that's fine. You guys will come back next year, isn't it?
Let's see how that goes.
Fingers crossed.
What if fingers are not?
All right.
How about
Cross it.
you guys coming over to that side?
Oh yes, we'll get there. But we'll get there. Let's get money first.
Or come and see.
Anyway,
Okay.
I think it's what would you say it is like in Canada? Because I mean, you guys are a couple and you've got lovely kids. What do you think when it comes to childcare? Because I mean, most migrants, from our country or from any place to the Western world, they always complain, "Hey, childcare is this, or childcare is that." What is it like down there in Canada? All the things we've been hearing online, are they actually true? Is it
What have we had?
that is so much money? There is no time. Some people are even considering
Movie coming to UK.
no, moving their kids to their grandparents
Parents
in Nigeria, and the stress is. I mean, so many stories.
Right.
Yeah.
It's actually challenging when you talk about childcare. But if you think about the resources that you put into it, side by side, what you get from the government, it tends to be a little bit more easier. But as a parent, it's more challenging on your own part. Amount of time you need to try to balance childcare with your work. All right. But in terms of finances, it's a little bit easier from the little we know comparing Canada to the UK. But I think I should leave that to my wife to know how it tells on her taking care of the babies as well. Not about the financial perspective, but balancing it with your work life.
Well, from my own side, I must say I have a very super supportive husband. You know, he's always there with me. My husband doesn't mind doing any kind of thing, anything, changing diapers, washing, anything at all, right? So just if I'm busy with the kids, you know, bathing them, he's there to like prepare their food, you know, set food up for them so that after bathing, so we just kind of like work together. That's the basic thing. We work together 110%. Then when it comes to my work, luckily we're able to get the childcare subsidy when we just got to Canada because childcare is really expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
So imagine new immigrants that are just struggling to get a minimum wage job, and then you try to like get daycare for your child, and then you imagine how much they pay. So we got subsidy from the government, and we are paying zero, nothing.
Okay.
So Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. They have access to daycare. So, but when we come back from work, we pick them up from the daycare. So luckily, both of us, we have the same schedule. We have 9 to 5. So we leave the house all at the same time. We all come back home at the same time, and then going. But when we just got to Canada, I got 100% remote job. So I was always at home when I'm working, right? And then I had the night shift, 2 to 10 p.m. So during that time, my husband takes care of bathing them. So he from 2 to p. So when I start working at 2 p.m., he comes back from work around 5 or so, and then he picks them up. He takes them, you know, baits them, feeds them. So before I'm done from work at 10 p.m., they've already slept.
Wow.
So I only take care of them in the morning because I'm not working. So that's how we work together to balance it.
So basically, it's all about planning.
Yes.
And teamwork.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
So you
teamwork.
plan within your schedule. So for people that have night shifts, you have to make it work for you.
So if let's say you don't do a remote job, you go to work.
Yeah. So right now, my job, I go to work on some days.
Because I mean, some of our viewers, some of our listeners, they live in the UK, America, you know, even Canada.
Yeah, right. It's the same thing. Right now, my present job, although I'm on maternity leave, but before I went on maternity leave, I have to go into the office on some days. So those days we all get ready in the morning at 7 or before 7. So I have to leave earlier because I use the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband now finishes. So we bathe and dress them up. Then I go. Then my husband feeds them, drops them off at the daycare. Then he will go to work. On his way back, he picks them up. Then I get home later because I'm still using the train. So sometimes he will start making the dinner before I get home.
Wow.
And then I'll just come in and then support. And you know, so we just like do it together. We'll still make it work. Then Saturday and Sunday, nobody is going anywhere. So we stay home, we take the kids out, no daycare that day. Yeah. So our kids, fortunately, are also sleep trained. So we make them, you know, take some time out to sleep in the afternoon so you can actually have your sanity back.
So talking about, sorry, I know you are itching to ask me just because I mean you've mentioned a couple of roles or duty your husband do assist you with. Oh, let me use the word assist you with.
Yeah.
But then it seems there is no like this is the man's job.
No, we don't have that.
And this is the woman. I mean, you people don't have it, but some people do have it.
Yeah, they do. But
I mean, what would you say? Do you think, are you, from your own school of thought, do you think this job should be for the man of the house, this is for the woman of the house, this is for the children?
So you think I'm asking if they should have rules?
I'm asking your own opinion concerning that because it works for some people.
Yeah.
Some people say, I mean, I've asked this question to some people say yes, some others say no.
Well, personally, I would say that for me, there is no formula when it comes to couple relationship and how things work for you. You do things however it works for you, but make sure it's working for the both of you. The other person is not suffering as a result of that decision. That's what I think. But in my own home, my husband can cook, my husband can bathe the kids, wash toilet, do everything. I also can do all of that, right? But for some reason, he prefers I cook.
Because she yours is better.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then he assists.
most men will prefer the wife food because,
but like I said, if whatever works for couple, but the term is working for the both of you. All right. So if you feel that okay, as a man, I can't wash plates, I can't cook, make provisions.
It's about teamwork, I should say. You know, coming from Nigeria, where we are coming from, we have that mindset that the kitchen is for the woman. whereas the man
Some
is
people,
there.
not everybody.
And
Because everybody's,
I can bet
people
on
are
that.
woke now.
One generation.
What
But
generation?
majority, let's
Yeah,
put it like
yeah,
that. Majority believe, okay, like giving it to your parent to now, that the woman owns the kitchen.
Yeah.
And the man.
Because they even taught us in school. Father in the parlor, watch it in the kitchen. Mother in the kitchen, cooking rice.
But sadly, so it's not what will work here.
It can't work.
It can never
No.
work here because both parties, your hand must be on the deck
Yeah.
to make you work.
Everybody's bringing something to the table.
Yes.
Bring everything to the table.
And both of us at the table.
So who brings the table?
We're also the table.
That's it.
So yes, it's a good thing you brought this up. Moving from Nigeria to Canada, what was the initial? Was there any kind of cultural shock? What was the initial experience? How did you blend into the culture? Because I know I'm very, very sure there are two different cultures.
Yeah, that's true because one thing is this: you're coming from a society where if you tell your son to sit down, your son will sit down. To another society where if you tell your son to sit down, say daddy why.
Yeah.
So you have to give them why.
Reason.
I don't know if they teach them in school to ask why. It's a good thing, but you have to strike a balance.
Yeah.
So it's a society where the children are very much allowed to be outspoken than where we have to say yes or yes ma to your father.
Yeah.
So that's the first cultural difference. Secondly, is that if you wake up in the morning, you could walk by a child and the child will be looking at you without saying good morning. Right? But here, in Nigeria rather, it's a different ball game. You are taught to greet your elders. If you go into a bus and an elderly person comes in, you as a child is not to stand up.
Yes.
But this guy will sit looking at you like.
And even say hi.
So those are the cultural differences. I don't know what you face in your own situation.
Well, for me, the biggest one is that I can't even correct my child in public. You know, it was shocking.
Right,
like if we go to the park and the child is misbehaving, you have to be looking at her. Stop that. You know, like you can't. Back home, you just spank the kids, bubble man. Even the neighbor from the same.
They can spank.
Oh, don't mind him, beat him again. Some of these, like that.
They don't hear.
They don't. These children are so stubborn these days.
Right.
You know, but here you have to be super careful.
Yeah.
You know, but our way, we decided that our kids are going to understand our native language, which is Igbo. So that's what we do when we go outside. We correct them in Igbo language, so that the person next, to us won't even know what's going on.
And you do that with a smiling face.
Yes, you correct and smile, and the next thing when you exactly, and next thing if you have juice or cookies, you give to the child, and like
hold them like this. The baby will be screaming. No one don't know what's happening.
You don't know what's going on.
He will do it and smiling to the baby.
Yes, because if anything happens and that kid turns out rude or something, they're gonna blame the parents.
The parents.
They'll blame me. So I have to do my job. I have to do my homework. You have to protect your child because you're gonna answer to God, however that child turns out.
Most times it's not even punitive. It's just a corrective measure.
It's just exactly.
Well, the system doesn't really understand.
It doesn't. So that was the biggest shock for me. It was hard, but right now, like I said, we have a way around it.
There's always a good and bad side to things. Sometimes I was listening to a podcast. This man, he's been married for over 10, 15 years. And he was saying that sometimes when we flog children, back in the days, sometimes the reason you are flogging them is not because they did something wrong, per se. It's just that you did something wrong to you in your own understanding, that to some other person, that thing the kid did is not wrong.
Yeah.
He gave an instance. Let's say you asked the kid, nobody should touch these biscuits today. And then he went and touched it. He disobeyed you. And that's why he's getting that punishment.
But that does not mean it's wrong.
However, if someone else sitting by the side says, but he's just biscuit that he took.
Yeah.
You get.
But
so
it's disobedience.
It's disobedience now. That's what you're trying to
but that's
correct.
your value.
And
that's your personal value.
Should that be everybody's value?
Exactly. Well, you have to listen to me.
Yeah.
Well,
if I say don't touch, then
that's
you shouldn't
where
touch
the cultural differences come in.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
That's where it comes in. And I just have just a few questions I just put down here. Leaving Nigeria and going into another country, how has that impacted your relationship with family back home and kinsmen?
Umunna.
I should say actually one thing is that you get like a little bit of a strange relationship, like a
Yeah.
gap in between. I'll give you a real life example. One factor is the time difference.
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria and Canada, they are, depending on the season, they could be 5 hours or 6 hours behind. So the time you need to, maybe your folks are awake in Nigeria for you to put a call across to them, you are sleeping. Or maybe you're at work.
Yeah.
So you don't even have that time to call except on weekends. So gradually you tend to, have that how do I put that not to sound subtle. You have that a little bit of distancing between the two, which could, if care is not taken, might strain your relationship, right?
A lot.
So that's one of the things I try to over time try to work on consciously. But you can't change the time,
Yeah.
right? And if you are sleeping, you are sleeping. So if you are in touch with your people like 24/7 when you're back home, when you're out abroad, it's quite different, which takes a little bit of understanding on both parties.
Yeah.
They say out of sight could be out of mind.
Yeah.
But if you reassure them that actually I'm still with
thinking
you,
of you.
right? Though I can't be able to put a call across you every blessed day. I
Yeah.
might be able to talk to you once in a week, maybe on Saturday or Sunday.
Or Sunday.
If that understanding is there, then you don't have a problem.
Yeah.
But if it's not there, then you have a huge, huge explanation to do.
Yeah, just to it's a good thing you say this. How do you handle the financial aspect of it? Because you have a lot of money changers back home. Now we'll calculate like, oh,
How much you're earning.
$1 is this. How if you give me just $10, you
Exactly.
even move. $10, they'll change it already for you. And how do you like try to balance that, make them understand that things are not the way they seem?
Yeah, just to add to that, because I mean, part of the reason we do this is for people to learn,
Yeah.
And understand.
and understand. I mean, pick whatever you want to pick from this conversation. Just to add to what you said, because another thing that causes huge problem um in relationships, I mean, families within couples, is finance.
Yeah.
So you say, well, you sent why? I will now. I'll give an instance. Maybe I'll send 100,000 naira to my family, to my people, and then I'll send 50,000 naira to hers. Then she will say, "Why did you send 50?"
50,
So is there like, do you guys have a formula of sending money? Because I know obviously almost everybody sends money back home, even people that their parents are well to do. I mean, you still send something to your mom or your dad, or say thank you, daddy, thank you, mom. Just use this for weekend.
Yeah.
And how do you strike the balance? You see, if I send 100, this one is getting 100. I'll say, okay, let's check. I mean, it's a big problem. I have people.
I get your point.
You know.
And that's a very critical question. But I'll leave. Your question seems to be like two parts.
Yeah.
So I'll take part one, and I'll leave my humble wife to take part two, because she
She's the one that sends the money.
she's
She's
the one
in charge.
That's good.
No, a friend of mine told me this, and it works like magic. If your wife knows how much you're earning, your problem is half solved.
Yes.
Not half, 100%. Because if my wife knows, because if my wife, if my no, because it causes. I mean, I know a couple that it causes problem. Then I tell my friends, look, there's no need hiding your.
Why you hiding?
Why you hide, if you're hiding it, if I'm hiding how much I earn in a month, for instance, my wife will think maybe let's say I'm earning £1,000 in a month, and I'm hiding it. She can assume anything.
Yes.
She can assume I'm earning 5,000. I'm be making demands of 4,000.
Exactly.
And then I'll be unnecessarily angry. Every time I'm angry. But then you are the person that is giving the room.
Yeah.
Carry on, my brother.
So that's why I tend to, initially, before we even, entered marriage proper, we said, okay, we should be open with everything. So she knows how much I earn, the savings and everything, she has it. So I just have, little space for a guy to be a guy, right? But the main thing, she's with it. Now, to handle people back home,
knowing her very well, it's even better. She can save. People that don't know her, move your money, she will save it for you and give you every one kobo.
Accountability.
She's good. Leave it for her.
Yeah.
So I think that formula has been working, So handling people back home, you are right when you said they'll tell you if you send £10, it will not move you. But that's what we say, who no go.
No.
No.
You get? So first thing first is if you are lucky that your people are exposed to how difficult it is to earn
$1.
$1 or £1, their demand will drastically reduce. But if you are unfortunate that they don't know that they are the other side that makes the demand as if when you open your door, you plug the money. The onion lies on you to do an explanation and stand by it.
Yeah.
Yo, this is how much I can afford to give you at the end of the month. Stick to it. One thing about life is nobody is indispensable.
Yeah.
If you are not there, those guys will survive.
They will survive,
Yeah.
definitely.
So you don't kill yourself over people that will even survive after you've gone.
Yeah.
So what we do is at each point in time, things come up, you can change your budget. Let's say you set aside 200,000 to sort them out every month. At some point, a new demand can come up.
Yeah.
And you can spend 250.
Yeah.
Okay. But the formula is this: knowing how much they expect from you each month. Don't leave them to keep making demands upon demands. It will strain you. Okay. But if I say I'm giving you 100, I will work towards making that 100 available to you at the end of the month. So set the expectations right and stick to it. Set it right and stick to it. It's been working for us, and I believe it can work for anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't leave your door open for a request to come in.
Yes, definitely.
Set the expectation. Yeah, you can help, for sure you can help, but remember, if you're not there, they will still survive. So I'll leave you to take the part 2.
My husband said, we have an agreement, of how much we save, how much we also spend, right? And I'm aware of what we have and what we don't have, what is on the way, and what we will still spend. So it helps me in the financial planning of the family, making sure that we don't spend more than we earn.
Yeah.
So for our families, we have a stipulated amount of time money that we send out to them every month. Then if we have a need that comes up, most of them communicate through me, and I'll just let them know. But we have an agreement that we don't send even one kobo to anybody without talking about it. So it's not like you're asking for permission, because we understand that this needs, but we have to be aware, so that if both of us know that we have £1,000, he won't come and ask me tomorrow and I'll tell him it's remaining 900 without talking about where the 100 went to.
Yeah.
So if those extra needs, because if we say, okay, those ones that we sent, that are fixed, that are sent out every month, we know about it. But if anything else comes up, which is new, we talk about it. If it's something we can afford, if you ask me for 10 naira and what we have is 1 naira, we'll tell you that what we have is 1 naira. Because it's really difficult making this money.
Definitely.
In Canada, if you don't work, you don't go chop.
Yeah.
So in a month, it's not like in Nigeria when you have a stipulated salary for a month, even if you work only 1 week in that month. In Canada, if your work is 9 to 5, and which is 8 hours, right? That's excluding your 1 hour break. Yeah. So 8 hours, they'll pay you for 8 hours. But if something happens, you took your child to the hospital, clinic, and you come to work by 12, or 5 hours you go collect. In fact, 4 hours because you have 1 hour break, except to sacrifice the break.
Definitely.
So that's what people don't understand. But like he said, you explain this to your parents or whoever that is your dependent, and then you set the expectations right straight. So because if you don't do it, especially extended families, your parents always are on your side. Most of the time, it's those extended ones. Some of them feel entitled. You're abroad. When you change $1, £1, money will flow everywhere.
And then when you say, I don't know if you guys hear, because I know many other people say something similar. When you try to explain this, oh yeah, come back, where we go?
Exactly. So somebody tried to tell me that. Somebody said, if you're earning $1,000 a month, that's more than $1 million. I said, please, my rent is so amount. Please help me exchange it in naira too. When you convert my rent to naira, you now know how much I'm taking out of that salary that you can. So calculate my expenses, calculate my taxes. You buy sugar. If you buy sugar 1,000 naira I pay tax. I buy sugar $4 after tax. So are you going to also convert that to naira? So it's people's entitlement mentality. But me, if it's not my parents, I owe you no explanation. If I have, I give to you. If I don't have, I'm so sorry. I have my own needs. Because like my husband said, if you're not there, they will be all right. And the thing about some of those ones that have those entitlement mentalities is that If you are in need, I'm sorry, they can't help you.
That's the thing.
Definitely.
So you have to always also look out for yourself.
Definitely. It's really important that we keep sharing similar things. Not like those abroad are stingy, because someone was grading this level of stinginess amongst people that are abroad. They said that those in the UK, they are the most stingy. I don't know where he got that statistics from. But then the thing is, it's not easy. It's not easy. Somebody might be sending you money, and that person will be you'll be living in a duplex in Lekki or Ikoyi or Port Harcourt. But that person will be in London, somewhere in shared apartment where he's sharing one toilet with 6 people.
Exactly.
Or 6 different room occupants. It's not easy for those. I think through this sensitization and through this conversation, people will keep. It's up to you to believe it, but at least know that this is how it is.
And
it's
also, sometimes people do like 3-4 jobs. They work like different shifts, Saturday, Sunday, just to meet up with their own bills. It's not even like to have enough to save. It's to pay taxes, pay insurance, car insurance. You buy everything.
Why am I feeling so emotional about this?
Because it's affecting you. It's a reality. You are living that life, and it tells on you as well. That's why sometimes when we talk about this, we tend to be emotional about it. Because this is our life. But some people don't really understand. Some people don't sleep. When I was in Winnipeg, I have a Yoruba friend. We are next door neighbors. I just see that guy maybe once every 2 weeks.
And imagine.
Because he walks all through the day.
You even managed to see. We don't even know our neighbors.
where we the first place we live in the UK, we stayed there for about 6 months. I don't know. It's not like we don't greet. I don't know them. Because before you are out, the other person is
exactly
already. When you are coming back, the person is probably sleeping or something.
And you look at yourself in the mirror, you're looking older every single day because you're stressed.
Most of us are already growing gray hair.
I picked up 2 from my hair yesterday. I was shocked. I picked up 2. I was like, how?
I used to think that before you have like all this white hair, apart from those that got it like from birth, there are ones that are natural. But I used to think you start getting gray hair from 50-something years. At least I only know my grandmother to have gray hair. But these days you see like 30-something.
Yes.
20-something. I saw one that the whole hair is gray. Say, it's not my I used to do spray. I know it's stress. Like it's stress.
There's this trend. I don't know if it's also like that in Canada, but here in the UK, most of the young couples that migrated, they've been living together in Nigeria. Most of them are migrated. It seems like when some people come to UK, there is this breeze. Make una separate. I don't know if what would you. I know it's not just in the UK. It happens
everywhere.
Almost everywhere, because we see it we see all these things online. We read them. What would you say could be the main? What do you think could be the reason for this trend?
Separation.
I think it circles back to your first question about cultural shocks. We came from a society where marriage is a serious thing.
Very serious.
But here in Canada is a serious thing, but we don't hold it so much in very, 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 very high esteem. Somebody can be proud telling you I've been married 4 or 5 times. And there's no shame in divorce. Recently in Nigeria, it's becoming a trend. Divorce is becoming the order of the day.
Exactly.
So when people leave, they've come to a society where the females are very much empowered. When we came in newly, we learned that in the hierarchy of things in Canada is if I'm not mistaken, children, women, animals, then men.
That's
similar thing here.
So you see that the woman has so much
power. Yeah.
So if it's a woman that is power drunk, a woman that is not really firm in her belief in the family system, it's just like a phone call, and the process will be kickstarted, and before you know it, is all done.
Yeah, one man.
Even the power drunk thing, but these people have been living together.
In a society where...
Does it mean she doesn't love the man, or...
No, sometimes they say love is not enough, right?
Yeah.
Maybe those people, they've been in it, like it boils down to the societal system. Like because in Nigeria, there's so much power is vested on the men.
Yeah.
So even if a woman is suffering in marriage, the woman will still stay.
Yeah.
And believe, things will be all right.
Even a fellow old man will be telling you, it's like that.
It's like
Marriage
that.
is like that.
Yes. But in a
Enjoy
society where they will tell you you're right.
Yeah.
No, you don't take that from a man. So when you suddenly wake up in the morning and you realize that,
it can be better.
It can be better. I deserve a whole lot better. Why am I suffering with this man? This is not meant to be. And this place, they can help me achieve that. They can easily go for it.
Why not?
You get the point?
Yeah.
So that is why you see the rate of divorce among maybe immigrants becoming so much.
So high.
Because you live in a system where the woman can be, trampled upon. Coming to a society where the woman is even seemingly above the man.
Yeah.
So if she can't take it, she can quickly leave. So that is why it's a lot easier.
And they get a lot of support when they separate.
Yeah, exactly. So assuming, put yourself in the shoes of a woman. If you're in a system or in a marriage where you are being kind of maltreated, abused, and all whatnot, and you know that this system can even make me better, won't you go for it? Yes or no?
Well, my husband has talked about when is a woman that is the victim. When a woman is the one that walks out of the marriage. But when it comes to the other way, the man walking out, from what I've heard from, like I have a few people that have, they've actually experienced this, their partner walking out on them or getting a divorce and all of that. And one of the common thing that some of them say is that, when you're in Nigeria, you have a lot of support. Where if the man decides not to even take out the plate, you
won't even notice.
Nobody will know. You have 5 house helps. But if you come to Canada, where both of you have to do everything together, so some of those men see it as the woman turning them to house help.
You have changed.
You are no longer, you don't respect me anymore and all of that. How can you ask me to wash plates? How can you ask me to turn the food on? All of that. How can you ask me to bathe a child?
Yeah.
So that becomes so overwhelming for them because it's not what they are used to. That is just what I've gathered from a few people that I know personally. So the cultural shock is also coming into play here because you don't have help. So you don't expect to have a family with children and the wife is doing everything from A to Z because you don't used to help her back home.
And still go to work. So back home, you could have like a cousin or brother that is living with you and helping her out. Or you could have a house help or a neighbor. In Nigeria, if I'm going to pick up my child from the school, I can ask my neighbor to help me watch the baby, while I go and come back. Yeah. But here, I don't have that luxury. So it's either you help me watch the kid or you employ a nanny and pay. So this brings friction between couples if it's not well managed. Yeah. All right. Then another thing too is like from another thing I've seen is maybe some couple that came in with the wife as the main applicant, right? And also maybe they came in on a student visa or temporary visa. So the man feels it might take us a long time for me to actually have my feet, rooted in this country. But if I see a lady that is already a citizen and marry her, you have 2 legs down.
Yes, that's one thing I've also someone has told me that was why the guy left.
Oh.
Okay, so that is greed and selfishness. Mm-hmm. You see, so he met the man. He met a young girl that was born in Canada and working. In fact, she has everything. When he came with his wife as an attachment to student visa. You don't know the future. So the man walked away from the wife and married the citizen.
Because recently, I think I can relate with this because I've heard and read as well. I mean,
it was shocking.
In a discussion where a guy was complaining that I think there is this trend of, single guys that are abroad that are looking for wives. So people back home probably want to tag along, and then when they come over here, they just
exactly. So these are like, should I say they are marriages based on selfish reasons,
contractual,
because there's something very serious.
Faulty foundation. That's it. Because if it's a marriage that is based on sacrifice, love, care, kindness, in fact, companionship. When both of you see yourself as teammates and not competitors, we're not dragging anything. Okay, if we have a challenge, we should hold our hands and fight the challenge and not fight each other because of that challenge. So if we come in as maybe a temporary visa together, then we should work together on how to upgrade ourselves and not looking for a way to break out and then go and look for an already made. So that's like greed and selfishness. But if it's a marriage that has Christ, Jesus, as the foundation, both of you know why you are together. You consider the children. You know that you are here to make a better, perfect home. There is nothing like perfect, but both of you are going to work together. We are teammates. If both of us don't hold hands and work together, we will fail. If only one person is working, we will fail.
I mean that if one person fails, the other person fails.
Exactly. So both of you
fail. That's just team spirit.
So I don't believe that any marriage that has such a foundation will have those issues.
Yeah, just to buttress the point and the balance issues.
Yeah.
Not everyone is a Christian.
Yeah.
And virtually everyone goes into marriage.
Whatever you believe in.
So it's not just a marriage based on Christ.
Yeah.
There's a saying that says, man know thyself. If I genuinely commit to something, even if I know Christ or not, you should stick to it. You get my point? So it's not necessarily that it's just Christians. Just know yourself. Have that right foundation and stick to what you believe in. Okay. Take for example, I've heard of a case where a pastor in a church came into Canada with a wife. They have, I think, 2 or 3 kids. Along the line, the man left the marriage.
Wow.
A pastor.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's not about
Christ is the foundation. This one is
living with Christ, but still, it's still,
so to say.
Yeah.
So it's not really about religion. It's about you knowing yourself.
It's you.
Yeah,
God
you're
has
right.
nothing to. Well, God is. There is a God factor in marriage.
Well, why I mentioned God,
I get what you mean.
Yeah. Why I mentioned God is that fear of God is one. Marriage is filled with lots of challenges. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, but you need a supernatural power to help you to be able to pull through some of those life challenges. That's why I said. So if it's Christ you believe in, if it's anything you believe, you just need something higher than you because sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like you want to break down. I know when I had my daughter, we didn't have her, it was just the 2 of us, and my husband was schooling. I know sometimes I wake up in the morning, I'm crying. And he's like, don't worry, everything. Because it's over. I had a C-section. I have a toddler. I have a little baby. And I've always been this very hardworking and independent person. So imagine a time where I can't even bathe myself. Where I have a little baby to bathe and all of that. And my husband is the only person taking care of all the 3 of us. So sometimes I just wake up in the morning, I sit and start crying. So in such situations, he needs an award. Like our viewers, if any of you have the opportunity to give him an award. Yeah, he really did great. Imagine he would bathe our toddler, bathe me, and then together we'll bathe the baby and all of that. So it was overwhelming. And I was looking at my husband, he looked so drained and stressed. So imagine if a man like that does not have the help and grace of God to stand. Okay, we'll just wake up one morning. Wake up one morning and leave you.
Right.
So that's why I said you need something higher than you to be able to go through some of those challenges.
Another factor I think I've gathered before is some people come from Nigeria to abroad with this mindset, just like you said earlier. And when they come into the new country, they see what others are doing. They see what is in vogue there. They want to join trend. Some of them are friends. They just want to belong. I want to be this. Oh, no man can control me. And your friend play a very big role in the kind of
people you relate with,
people you listen to. So I know these people, like there are 3 friends. One of them got divorced. The next thing, the 3 of them.
Oh my goodness.
3 of them. 3 of them.
Oh my goodness.
And there is this person that we all know. And she has an issue with the husband or something. And if you can trace back, you see that people around her have that same problem.
Wow.
So this is kind of like, it has to do with your friends,
Yeah.
people you listen to.
True.
If you have someone that holds marriage very sacred, that speak to you and you can run to whenever there is a problem, there is very high tendency that you can't just walk out of a marriage like that, because there is someone you are scared of. You don't want to disappoint this person, and your parents as well play a very good role.
Exactly.
What kind of marriage are you coming from? Some people come out from their marriage or go into marriage with the trauma
dysfunctional
from their parents. Oh, they always see their parents fight. They always see them arguing. They see how their mother treat their father, or how their father treat their mother. If you're a lady, you will be see how your father maltreats your mom. You grow up telling yourself, no man will ever treat me like this. So you see yourself defending even before being attacked.
Exactly.
You become you have this shell over you. Any little thing, you can see yourself
being apprehensive,
escalating every little issue, because you have a trauma, you have a baggage. So I think you just have to get rid of all these baggages, get rid of your trauma, forgive yourself, forgive whoever. That's the only way you can heal. And the partner becomes a victim of what they don't even know about.
Yeah, true.
Little things that you do in the house, they will always relate it to, oh, there was a time my dad did this, my mom did this, and you have the same character. You are tending towards this. So before you even break out a hand, you may even be taking it to scratch your head. They have already given you a slap. You see? And another people, they have been caged for a long time. And they'll be like a bird that just, you just open the cage and just fly out. It takes time to come back to that cage. So if they come in and see how beautiful the life is without that man in the house, what you can enjoy, how many whites or how many people that can say hello to you if they see that you are single. Some people want white men.
True.
So once they come in and see all that and see this man is holding me back, not like they're even giving me anything, they will rush into it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There is no endurance anymore. People go into marriage with divorce on the table.
Yeah.
Oh, if you do anything, I will leave you. I'm pitying you. Some of them, even just like my husband said earlier, some of them are just marrying you just to leave the country.
Yeah.
There was a time it was a trend. People are like, I want a nurse. What do you mean? Is a nurse a wife? I want a nurse. I want a radiographer. Because they have seen that these two professions is a skyrocket abroad.
Easy access.
So they come in with the wrong mindset. So this is where we should start, like, healing from.
And that's why I said it's about the person. It's about the you.
The
you. If man know thyself, what do you hold precious?
Sacred, what's your value?
What's your value before you go into some of these things?
Marriage.
I think we've spent time.
It's a very good topic.
Especially when you have guys that's filled with knowledge, wisdom, and But I think we'll probably be wrapping up very soon. I think one last question I was going to ask was talking about disputes in marriages. How do you resolve disputes? Do you sort it out amongst yourself? Do you get someone, maybe call your pastor or call your daddy or your mommy or call a friend, call your sponsor in your marriage or call the shaman of your wedding? Do you get a third party? How do you guys settle your dispute?
Right. One thing we should get out there first is that no marriage is free of disputes.
That's the fun of it.
That's the fun.
That's the fun.
But some people will just they will say, hey, for the past 3 days, everywhere has been smooth. Let me just do something.
They
just can do what you know that.
Okay, I hope that doesn't really pull down the house.
Some people, they say, I want violence.
I don't want peace.
I don't want peace.
So the issue is this. That's why they tell you communication is key. If you lose communication in your marriage, then you've lost it. So talk things over. We talk this over, right? You can be angry for sure. Even your child, I'm upset.
Daddy, I'm upset.
So even kids, they'll tell you, I'm upset. So you just have to start from the point of communicating with each other. That is one. And when you are communicating, acknowledge that if you're at fault, please acknowledge it.
Yeah.
There's a word that says that word sorry could be very short,
Right.
but it reaches the depths of every heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry doesn't kill.
Sorry, well said. Sorry. That was no follow. That was for the part. Sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Should be sorry you want. Yeah, sorry.
That was no follow. That was the third chest.
I agree with you.
When they touch the shirt,
Because sometimes
Well said.
it's not what you're saying, but how you say what you're saying.
Exactly. That's
Right.
my point.
So we try to communicate. This is what you did. I don't like it. So the person receiving that feedback, once you say I'm sorry, like you say it very well. Healing starts taking place.
Exactly.
So those are the two things that I will personally say that have been working. Talk about it, then acknowledge where you are wrong. Thirdly, forgiveness. If somebody apologizes and says, maybe I'm sorry, I won't do it again, be willing to forgive. I come from a place where somebody would do something, let's say 2024. Somebody will remind you in 2030. That's not forgiveness,
No.
right? Yeah, you said, I forgive you, but you're still
Doing it again.
not really
That
doing
is
it.
still-
You're still harboring that
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
I
man.
did several
Yeah.
years ago, and you're still using it to judge me. It's not going to work.
yeah.
That's not pure forgiveness. You forgive and you do what? Try to
Let's
Okay.
go.
forget. Sometimes, as a human being, you can remember, but tell yourself,
I've forgiven
I've
this.
forgiven
We've talked
this.
about
We've
this.
talked about it. This shouldn't be a case. Don't go back to use my yesterday to judge my action today.
Yeah.
Right? So those are the three things: communicate, acknowledge, and say I'm sorry, and try to forgive. You can never go wrong with these things. I don't
And
know
let's
what
go.
you have to say there.
Well, for us, we have
Who
been.
did you speak for?
Myself.
Because you said for us, and now you're saying for us.
Yeah, for us too, he has said maybe an aspect of it.
Another thing.
Yeah, another thing too is we've been married for over 5 years. Yeah, traditionally for almost 6 years. And not for one day have we, to the glory of God, we've never had one single day that anybody interfered. Anybody came to her, you say you could have him, what is the problem? Nobody even knows we even argue. We argue. You know, sometimes I can really be this very, very stubborn.
Oh,
And
not
he's
sometimes.
and he's soft spoken. So yeah, I know when he's angry with me, even when he doesn't say it, right? So, but we've never had anyone come to, no matter, nobody. I'm very close to my dad, so my dad has never known one issue that we argued about, right? Even my sister, I'm very close to her. I've never told her one thing that my husband did. That's because of communication. So I rather talk to him than talk to anyone else. Okay, and then we have this principle, if I can call it that. Whatever happens doesn't see the light of the next day. It doesn't even see midnight.
Yeah.
So once we are back to, you know, like whatever time it happens, we'll try to resolve it before the end of that day. And then we have something else we call ritual. I'm not gonna tell you what that means.
Okay. All right.
But the ritual must be performed after the reconciliation.
Exactly.
You know, just to appease the gods and cement
God
everything.
said it. You don't come to the house of God
Empty, you know?
And you don't just go to see a native God. That's it.
Exactly.
And after forgiveness comes what?
Reconciliation.
If you reconciliation can be anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the ritual helps us to reconnect and get closer.
That is why if there is too much peace, you miss that. You rise up a little because it is different from Balabu.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on our show, on our podcast. I don't know if I should call this a podcast. It's a podcast.
It is, but before you conclude, you just mentioned you communicate, talk to the other person about it.
Yeah.
But it encourages people when they speak to you about a particular problem. Your response means a lot.
Yeah, true.
When you become defensive, it discourages the other person from telling you about it.
Yeah.
You have to calm down. In marriage, you must be humble. I encourage you to be a lion outside. But when you are coming back, cut off your lionhood. and become a cat. This is a kingdom. That's my encouragement, that's my advice to people. When you come back, know that this is a home.
Yeah.
You should create that kingdom. If you think you're a king, make sure you have, because a wife of a king is what?
A queen.
A queen.
Without a king, you're not a king.
If you don't treat your wife as a queen, you are not a king.
Yeah.
And as a woman, if you don't treat your husband as a king,
you're not a
you
queen.
have lost your queenship.
And you don't even have a kingdom.
And your kids that you call prince and princess, they are not. So you must create your kingdom in your home.
Yes, sir.
Right.
This is the place where everybody comes back happy, relaxed, be yourself. Some husbands and wives, they are working on tentacles. Is there anything like that?
Tentacles should be for listening.
Tentacles. Yeah, they are working on tiptoes.
On glass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
they are trying to be too careful.
they are being too. When you're too careful in marriage, it's not.
No, you can't.
It's not nice. You don't like. It's not fun.
You're not yourself.
You are not. Before you talk, you check what you want to say.
Yeah.
How will this person take it?
Yeah.
It's not nice. You have to be yourself.
So it's good to be friends with.
Be very
See
good
your
friends.
partner,
Friendship.
your husband or your wife as a friend. Because I mean, when some people take the word husband, wife, they just see it as so. I mean, personally, I thought the day I married that there is this new feeling that I will have in my body.
That will come
Yeah.
into
You
your
are
husband.
now a husband.
Husband.
You know,
Husband.
but you are still the
saying
same thing. So still see your partners. This is my friend, though. This is just that
Yes,
will
they're
enable you
friends.
to be free.
After we got
You know.
married, he kept on saying, "I'm not your husband," though." Because that he was thinking that something would change.
Yeah.
Because
Then I
we
just-
believe that
That time you say I do.
I do
and put them-
something else.
Yeah.
Some of those that I've dated for a long
You
time.
know.
We were boyfriend and girlfriend for almost 7 years.
7 years, yeah. So it's
Before we got married. So sometimes I still see him as my boyfriend. Sometimes I feel like I need to go home. Because I stay too much in his I
yeah.
thought I kept to visit. So yeah, you should still date in marriage. Even if it means going back home to visit your parents.
Come back.
Just make it a date. Keep
Yeah.
dating. That's
Yeah.
just it.
Yeah, it's really, really important for husband and wife to be friends. I see some people that say if they call their husband, "Come here, big head," the man will feel offended. He wants to respect. Sometimes I get my husband, like, "This your nose is looking too big."
That's the fun of it.
And
Yeah,
then
that's the fun.
and I'm just walking and I just hit his back, or do something, and then
You
he'll
spank
just
his
chase
bum
you.
bum.
Yeah, and he'll chase you and do the same.
Yeah.
So if you can't play pillow fights with your spouse, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on.
You're married.
Well, I'm not married to my ancestor or Amadioha.
Military men are lovely.
Oh, yeah, they are
I've
lovely.
been in the
Yeah.
I've been
So
If
in the
you
barracks
can't
for a while.
if you can't play, if you have to be very vulnerable, let me put it that way, with your spouse.
That is what more you have
Vul-
been using.
Yeah,
Vulnerability.
just be like you have to.
Soft spot. Let
Soft
them know your
spot.
soft spot.
If somebody can
You
say
move on
something
to-
to you outside and you punch the person and hit, if the wife says he is, thanks for the compliment. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's how communication should be. Me and my husband, we really communicate. I'm sorry, if you're my friend or anybody, whatever we discuss, he knows.
Oh.
Whatever you
You
told
can't
me in
keep
this
secret.
life.
Just like my sister will always call me. I will not tell you. She only knows that.
I only know she will tell me.
Tell
So that's the way it is. If you know me, if I'm your friend, anything, just so that whatever you
You are
told
my
me,
I
but we
know-
promise you,
I know
it will
sometimes
just-
when my wife
it
will be
will
on the
end
phone,
around here.
if someone is gisting her on the phone, I will be like,
Last
unless you'll be like, you two like us. I say, no, it's not gossip. It's information. You need to get
and
information.
information is power.
Information is power.
Power.
All
That's
right,
how
guys.
it should
Thank
be.
you so much. Thank you so much for
Being a-
sparing this time. I know you guys on vacation. You are supposed. They've been touring UK.
Yeah,
They have toured UK more.
Yeah,
Living here for
UK.
5 years.
Thanks to you.
Thanks to you.
Thanks to you guys.
Back to back.
Oh, have you
Thank you.
forgotten? This is guided dreams. Yeah.
Yes.
The guided dreams you'll be hearing of. Look at them here.
Yeah,
We have
so
celebrities in our
try
house.
follow them on YouTube. Subscribe to their channel on YouTube. It's
And
Guided Dreams.
Facebook.
they share immigration information. I mean,
Lifestyle, a lot of things.
most people have been blessed just watching their videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends that have also shared their videos. So they reside here in UK. They even people that have already japa, they are also benefiting now. Think of people that are aspiring to move. So you'll be just type the guided dreams on YouTube.
With a Z.
If you don't get any value, come back and give your data.
Guided dreams with a Z. Not S. The last
We'll
letter
put the
is
tag
Z.
on our page, okay?
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for your time and thank you for coming
Thank you.
around. And
It's
just
our
to let you
pleasure.
know, you people will be seeing this page. So this is the fair version of this person, and this is that version of this. They are sisters, and it's been lovely having them around.
It's love I want.
Okay,
It's love I want to make.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.